that I try and do almost every game. So, as you can see, my hatchery's finished up over here, and soon I'm going to be sending some of the units right here over here. And the reason I'm doing that is it's a lot easier to get your second base started off if you have a few extra units there. So rather than having to try and just build a bunch of units right here, I'm just going to send some of my already filled up, overstocked base over here so that they can kind of just get more use out of them than just bouncing off of these individual minerals. So as you can see, I'm building up my creep and sending it along with my creep tumors. And my spire's finished, so I think these are my Mutalisks getting ready to pop up. And I'll start showing you why Mutalisks are one of the better units in the game, especially for a late game Zerg movement, especially against Protoss, who usually will either go. The Protoss usually go either heavy anti-ground or heavy anti-air, and depending on which one they go, is which one you will select, either Hydralisks or Mutalisks. So this player went very, very heavy ground and no anti-air defense. I mean, he's got pylons, he's got Dark Shrine for Dark Templars, which I think he's producing soon. So he has Dark Templars, which will just wipe out any ground units I bring out, but Dark Templars cannot hit Mutalisks because they are in the air. And hopefully I'm smart here, and I do believe I start generating creep for once. Actually did something smart. He's got a base coming up over here. He expanded. Yeah, there comes Dark Templars, who absolutely friggin' suck if they start attacking your ground army. And here we go. So, sending the Mutalisks are pretty fast, by the way, faster than a lot of other ground air units. Sorry, and they're going to start wreaking havoc. That sentry can target air units, but when it's dead, he has absolutely nothing that can target my Mutalisks. So they start wiping out these little Zerglings. He does get his Dark Templars out, which are going to wreak havoc on my Zerglings. I call these guys Zerglings, I meant Zealots, whatever. But his Dark Templars start taking out my Zealots. Jeez, I'm getting confused today. Zerglings. And the Mutalisks go to work destroying his gateways. And he does start building a photon cannon to try and take out my Mutalisks. And I, in response, take out his photon cannon and his pylons. Actually, I really like go with the pylon. Yeah, start taking out his pylon, because one of the most important things to remember about Protoss is if they don't have any pylons, none of their buildings can activate except for the Nexus and the Assimilator. So as long as you take out their pylons, this little thing here is going to disappear. And as you can see, I'm attacking the pylon, but the proton cannon is taking damage. So I don't really, it's a 2-for-1 deal, really. He builds another one. I decide I'm going to take that out too because there's too many pylons for me to take out. And as you can see, his entire base is now offline. He can't produce units. He can't research anything. He can't activate a force. And the minute he goes for a second pylon, or a third pylon in this fourth, fifth, whatever number at this case, my Mutalisks start taking it out. And the minute it goes down, once it goes down, they pop up for a second, but they don't last too much longer because then they go right back to where the hell they were. And then these guys start chasing after some people, but I let them go because Zealots and Dark Templar really aren't that big of a bother to me right now. And my Mutalisks start going to town on his workers and on his base. Going to work on his base here sometime today. Maybe eventually. Another batch coming. Okay, I guess they're just... Oh, no, there you go. Then all of them start attacking. And just like with the Hydralisks, you get enough of them, nothing's going to stand up for very long. And they're just going to run through it, and they deal splash damage. As you can see, their little boomerang things flicking between the two. And They just, annihilate this Nexus here. He does get away, but none of his probes did. At least I don't think many of them did. So he has a little army here. He does build a photon cannon this time, but notice he only has one Nexus. I've got a lot of Mutalisks here. So I take out his base first in case he decides to try and come back. Or at least take out anything important. Like Forge, Cybernetic Score. If he doesn't have these, he can't start building other stuff. And he doesn't have a gateway up yet, so he's stuck with what he's got because he has very few minerals, and he's just trying to produce probes to survive. And I'm taking out his supplies, so in fact, I think as soon as this pylon goes down, he goes into red for the supplies. I didn't know if he had any other bases, so I just decided no, I won't let him get any more Templars. Oh, I did actually start generating creep very late, but I did do it. Yay. Taking out more of his base. This is all standard game. I mean, just swarm them with your army and start letting them rip stuff up. Right after this, he tried to go and hide, and I was just like, okay, time to go looking for where this guy could be, because I have no idea. And luck would have it, I checked this natural expansion first to see if I missed it, and go straight up, or at least I'd circle around. Check here. I know he's not down there because I was there, so I just go for the next logical place, which is the gold minerals, and then right here. He just got a gateway up, but he has very few supplies, almost no resources. He's not right there, so I just make a turn. How many are there? There are, I mean, it's only 17 Mutalisks. He gets found out, just obliterates his pylons really quickly. There's just so many of them, even with it attacking, it's not much point. He does get an Archon out, which takes me a second to realize, and then the minute I do, they don't live very long. And I just leave his army alone because his army can't do anything against my Mutalisks. Once that Nexus is gone, once I take out his last probe, GG. So, as you can see, even, after spotting my Mutalisk doesn't make any air defense whatsoever. So, as you can see, Mutalisks, they really can just cut through things quickly if your opponent doesn't have any anti-air. If you can do it, I would probably go with the Mutalisks as my first option, Hydralisks second, but you never know. I just noticed that. That's hilarious. Eye pistol. Okay, come on, that's pretty funny. Anyway, back on topic. Random moment done. Always got to be one random moment of video. The Mutalisks, they're just really powerful. I mean, there's 5 kills. There's 9 kills. 5 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills. I mean, these guys, they don't have, their base damage is just a tad bit above a Zealot's. And they're not that fast either. So, but they can that little bounce glaive thing is just wreaks havoc on anything they attack. So, that's it. That's a Mutalisk build. That's going with your Mutalisks. Remember, just like with the Hydralisks, you need to upgrade to a lair. And except instead of getting a Hydralisk den, you're going to want to get a Spire. And I actually did pick up a Hydralisk den and an Infestation Pit, just because I was going to upgrade to a Greater Spire to get Broodlords if I needed to, but obviously I didn't. So, there you have it. This is Siltfidamus, and I am signing off.